Hello, all you beautiful people. I am back from an amazing holiday in France. Feels great to be back, all refreshed and sun-kissed and relaxed and ready to go into the fall season. We had an amazing trip. It was so much fun. If you follow me on social media, then you've probably seen what I was up to. But it was not only great quality time as a family, but we also got to see our son Maxime, who's been living there since April, and that was a real treat. So today in my Selfix video, I thought I would share with you some of my favorite looks from this trip. So we arrived at Brunos Parents' house. They live outside of Chambéry in the countryside, and the days are really relaxed, really simple. Grocery shopping, long lunches, sitting by the pool in this beautiful countryside, and then of course lovely dinners. A few things that I wore a lot are the chemise styled with a belt, and then this really fantastic red bodysuit underneath. This was a really comfortable outfit, felt really easy. Liked the way this looked, this kind of dune color with the bright red underneath. You can see I've continued that same look kind of inspiration here today. So that was one thing that I wore a lot at Brunos Parents. And of course, market day, something that I love. We go to Chambéry for that. And this was one of my favorite outfits. I wore this quite a lot because it feels great in the heat, but also a little bit dressy, a little bit elevated for being in Europe. So this is the cropped wide leg linen pants with the short cropped linen blouse from last summer. You probably remember that. I love pairing navy and black together. And I did invest in a pair of sandals that are this really pretty camel brown. And I felt like that really worked together. Really, really simple, yet still polished. Another thing I wore a lot of by the pool and just lounging around is the cover-up from earlier on in this season. This felt great on. I found it really perfect by the pool, but also fantastic for when I got out of the shower, running into my room, or even just being in my room and putzing about a little bit. I loved the way this looked and felt. So of course, spending a lot of time by the pool and then later in the Mediterranean, which I'll get to in a minute, I wore a lot of bathing suits. And this one I posted on Instagram, and a lot of you asked me about it. It is one of my absolute favorite bathing suits. I feel like it's very flattering for my body type. I feel really comfortable in it. It's a little bit of a retro vibe, and I just feel good in it, which I think is so important when you're talking about bathing suits. We headed down south to Provence. We wanted to go see Maxime in this beautiful chateau where he's working, and we went to eat in the Michelin star restaurant, which was such a treat. I've never done that before. It was so much fun. And of course, we're such a culinary family, so we loved it together. Maxime has been working in the kitchen there, like I said, since April. And so it was fun for him to share his experience with us and for us to share that moment together. So for that night, I wore this dress that was from the collection probably 3 years ago, this cotton poplin dress. I feel really comfortable in it. I find it can be really dressy, but it can also be very day. And it felt really appropriate, not only for a Michelin star restaurant, but also to be sitting and eating a lot. So it was perfect. I love the way this looks, especially when I have a little bit of color. Then from Provence, we headed down to the Côte d'Azur. We stayed with a friend of Bruno's from university days, Marine, in her house, her villa overlooking Saint-Maxime. It was spectacular. Her grandparents had built this house in the 1950s, and nothing has changed since. And it was such a treat. I felt like I was in an Agatha Christie movie the whole time I was there, and it was so nice. Of course, she had a pool, so we were mostly in our bathing suits, and the beach was a 5-minute walk away. But one day we decided to head over to Saint-Maxime on the ferry, which was a lot of fun. And I felt like I had been a lot in the sun. It was really hot, and I was feeling a little bit like I wanted to keep covered up, especially spending 20 minutes to Saint-Tropez on the ferry and 20 minutes back and then walking around. I was feeling a little bit like I needed some extra sun coverage. So that day I wore these really cute little linen shorts that are actually pajamas, if you can believe it. I bought them last fall on sale from Simon's, and I paired it with the waffle tunic blouse that I love and wore a ton. A bit open on the décolleté, I added the Doranola scarf just to protect this sensitive part of my skin, and then of course a nice big hat. We had so much fun, and the outfit was totally appropriate for the weather and for walking around sightseeing. One of my favorite looks, I did this quite a lot because it felt really appropriate for her villa and Saint Maxime, and the evenings when the sun was golden and the sea breeze was cooling us off a little bit. And that is the wide leg linen pants in the fawn color with this beautiful, creamy, kind of sandy Michael Stars tank top. Now, a few of you also asked me about this from Instagram, and no, it is not yet up on the website, but I will probably have it next summer. I loved this look. It was kind of a nod to the Côte d'Azur in the 1930s. And then lastly, since we're talking about Michael Stars, one of my favorite looks was Michael Stars tank dress. This, again, because of the ribbing and the fabric. After being in a bathing suit all day and wanting something soft on the body, I'd often put it on in the evening and it felt great. And so on the long car ride back to Chambéry, I decided to wear it, and it was perfect. We stopped for lunch in this beautiful medieval town called Pont-en-Royan, which is known for these ravioles, which is a specialty there, these little raviolis that are stuffed with cheese and totally delicious. And that dress felt perfect. It was, again, another sunny, hot day, and I felt great. Visit my friends. I hope you liked my ideas. I hope you liked I know you saw my postcards from France, but I thought we could dive in a little bit, talk about exactly what I did and what were my favorite outfits. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave a comment down below letting me know what you've been wearing on repeat this summer, or what your summer holiday plans have been. And of course, for more style ideas, don't forget to continue to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram.